And it's a good day, great day, great day. Welcome in to Spiritually Speaking. I am Sista Efua, and this is Spiritual Tea Time, here to provide you with your necessary dose of spiritual tea, the elixir, the fixer, the revealer that is necessary for your life. So we're here every Monday and Wednesday and Thursday night for you to come in and get the answers you're seeking, the answers you haven't agreed to yet, but that you need to know. So go ahead and do me a favor and invite 5 friends, 5 frenemies, 5 people you love, and then post it on your page so that someone that's a stranger can learn about what we're doing here on Spiritually Speaking. Thanks for being here and everything. I want to invite everybody up again, October 17th through the 19th. We're going to be hosting the Ancestor Calling event. You have an opportunity to go to Spiritual Soul Spa on Linktree and book your reservation to be with us here for 2 nights and 3 days here in Arizona. We're going to be talking about what does it mean about ancestors? How do you really connect to them? What is the process? Who they are? And then we're going to have some healing and connection sessions to happen for you while you're at the retreat. Everything is included in your registration fee. All you have to do is get here. All right. Thanks for being here. Listen, today I feel like I should pull like an oracle card, right? And so I'm waiting for the cards to come in because sometimes when you get that message about the oracle card, I also want to tell y'all that while we're waiting for the oracle cards to come from the realist deck, I also want to talk to y'all about the importance of revisiting your thoughts. You know, I do a lot of videos and I talk on a lot of podcasts and I do speaking engagements and I'm teaching and everything. And sometimes when I play a video back or the audio back, it's like, whoa, right on time, makes perfect sense, and it reminds you. So today I was washing my face. You know, in the month of September, we got a directive that said we should wash our face with salt water clockwise for the month of September. And so when I was washing my face, and of course, doing my greetings, doing what I have to do, I realized that water wipes away dirt. Water cleanses dirt. It washes it away. But yet water is surrounded by dirt. Water is surrounded by dirt. And we have water within our bodies, and we are surrounded by dirt. Well, we say dirt, but the masses, right? That gets dirty. You have to clean it off with water. So it's about this symbiotic relationships that we need to start seeking more of with our communities, with our connections, instead of just always waiting for someone else to come through and invite us into the conversations. Yeah. That's what I heard today. I heard that we need to start looking more deeply into where we are. So we're here. And so today, again, making that revelation that water cleanses us and water is usually housed within dirt, soil. But yet it comes and it becomes drinkable. It becomes something that we can use to cleanse. It becomes something that's used to restore us, right? And I often think about, we can't drink salt water, but yet our tears are salt water. And the water within our body has a certain level of salt to it. But to drink from the ocean, it doesn't want to stay. So that means the level that needs to be met is always met. But thanks for being here. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about. Again, reminding you that we're going to be hosting the Ancestors Calling event on October 17th to the 19th here in Arizona. You're welcome to join us. If you are watching us, if you are curious about what is this about to be about, this is our weekly podcast called Spiritually Speaking with Sista Efua. And what we do here is we talk about all things spiritual, metaphysical, esoteric, and life enhancing, because you are whole and complete. And there are many aspects to you and for you that most of us are forgetting about because we start focusing on money, we start focusing on relationships, we start focusing on our education and career. We're focusing on everything except for the wholeness and the completeness that already is embodied in our lives. So that's what this conversation is about. I also want to remind people, I get a lot of emails. What happened to your Thursday thought? Thursday thought will start back up in the first week of October. We'll be back doing that. That's your moment of motivation, inspiration, clarity, and direction. That's when we're going to be doing that on Thursdays for the Thursday thought. It's real important that we start moving as we're seeking, as we're growing, as we're enhancing our lives. I see a lot of polarity happening right now, and that isn't how the world really is. That's how humans are interpreting based upon their levels of fear, lack of understanding, and non-connection, right? Sometimes we forget that we are connected to the whole entire universe. We forget that the way we think creates the framework for the foundation of our lives. We forget that when we are talking to one another, that the words that we are speaking are forming and creating that which is going to be handled in our lives on daily purposes. I was reading a book. You know, I'm always learning about culture, history, and spirituality. The book is called The Book of Odu Ifa, and I opened it up to my particular Odu, and it said something like, whatever your spiritual life is, before you come here, when you come into this world, if you make the wrong decisions, it's going to impact your life. And then today, to remember to be called into the knowing that water is housed within soil, yet it cleanses, it restores. In its natural state, it restores. It is because we have begun to add things to it and take things away that our bodies reject it. Yeah. So how many things in our lives are we allowing to be put upon us, altered and given to us, and we attempt to take it into our life, into our lifestyle, to match our visions, to match our purpose, to match our desired outlay? Yesterday I talked about, when people make the comment, but I'm not perfect, or nobody's perfect. You are perfect. You may make an error in your judgment. You may choose not the best option. You may decide to ignore information or to create a whole new essence. But the mindset, the identity of who we be is that we truly are perfect. Perfect uniquely for you and for your assignment and for your contribution and for your imprint. But because we keep looking externally, we are missing out on the opportunities to maximize on that perfection that is distinct and only is yours and is part of your wholeness. And that way we spend less time telling people to adjust instead of being who we be, acting on our vision, acting on our purpose, acting and living out as in the wholeness and completeness that we have. If we do that, we won't worry about if somebody understands us, because maybe they're not here to understand us, but they're here to observe us, and we're here to inspire them or to remind them that there's work to do or they're in the wrong lane. They're in the wrong lane. Or maybe you're in the wrong lane. Let's take responsibility and accountability. You may be in the wrong lane. To learn how to be more introspective, that's what I want to talk about today. That was like an intro about the revelation I got about the water being surrounded by the soil, yet it's cleansed. It cleanses you. It holds the wisdom, ancient wisdoms, all of that. The symbiotic relationships that exist in nature are the same way we should be here with spirit, with divine. with your essence, with your pureness, with your wholeness. You got to build a relationship that says, yes, I got a temper. I can have a temper, but that temper is not a continuum. That temper is only there when I need to implement it in my particular path. If you're always angry, something is, yeah, we need to figure that out. Talk to someone. We need to figure out and get to the root of that. If you're always sad, we need to talk to someone, figure out what's going on. Why is that? If you're never wrong, if everyone else is making errors and you are not, we need to maybe evaluate that. Again, you could be on the wrong path. You could be on the wrong path, which is pulling you into people that are not for you. Or it's the right path and you're not taking accountability. You have what you believe, say, and practice. The mindset, the perpetuity. Oh, okay, let me stop. The way that we proceed. The way that we proceed in our individual lives greatly impacts the results. When you plant a seed in the ground, you're expecting something to happen. When you plant a seed into your life, when a seed is planted in your life, we expect there to be growth. Not stunted growth, not fallow growth, but growth of abundance. But it requires us to get into a sense of oneness and wholeness and trusting that what you believe in and what you think in. I've been upgrading the library for the academy. And I came across one of my signature talks, which is called Raise the Bar. Your beliefs, your attitudes, and your results. And we talked about, the beliefs that we have really do affect our attitudes. Some of y'all want people to just come and just pour into you, give you everything. You're reading every book. You're going to every conference. You're participating in therapy. You're participating in spiritual work. You're participating in this, all of these things, and there's no results. And no results. Why? It's because your belief is counter to that. Great day, everybody. Welcome in. Your beliefs are counter to that which you say you want, your attitude towards it. You want to be increasing your physical, financial options and resources, but in the back of your mind, you're like, when I get this money, I ain't telling nobody. I ain't gonna let nobody know. I'm gonna secretly go and move out of the state, move out the country. I'm a secret. Like, what is that? What is the fear about? The integrity that you have, if you have one small bowl of rice and you freely are giving people a spoonful of your bowl of rice, when you get the bag of white rice, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna be able to give it out with no fear that there won't be any more. You're welcome. Life continues to expand and unfold the more you get into the crevices, right? People talking about they found money in the crevices of their couch. Well, that's how your life is. The gold, the gold, the platinum, the titanium, the diamonds, the riches, the fullness, the wholeness is revealed even more within the crevices of life. Within the crevices of life. To examine how life determines who you are based upon what you believe is possible. What's possible? What do you really believe? What is the attitude towards your belief? Well, I believe there is something greater, bolder, bigger than me by which I come from, but my life sucks. Isn't that like a direct contradiction? Well, I got this idea for a business, but I think if I share my business idea, people are going to take my product ideas. People are not going to buy from me. I know I should I talked to somebody and I told them, I said, set your price, your monthly price for what you're doing. Set your price for your product at the price of your former corporate monthly salary, and you'll get people. Oh, I can't possibly do that. I said, why not? I said, didn't your job pay you that every month to do that? And she was like, yeah. I said, then do it. Put it out there that your fee for your consulting is this much. That's the starting base. And then you increase from there. She got 10 clients that inquired about her services. 10 people, 10 corporations called her about her services. Because they're also probably going to considering paying someone every month that amount. So they'd rather pay her to come in that amount. Yeah. It's not what you know all the time. It's not what you experience all the time. It's about what's possible in the field of plenitude that is called life and existence. Raise the bar, your beliefs, your attitudes, and then your results will come. But you can't keep saying, I'm never going to make it. Nobody in my family has ever had it. I got a conflict. I put a post up today of a man. I think he was preaching, right? Looked like a church. He was preaching and he was saying, there's no contradiction between me being pro-Black and enjoying being a Christian. I got to give up my pro-Blackness, but everybody else can keep their ethnicity and their heritage. But I give up my Blackness when I become a Christian. See, these are the dichotomies that we allow the external forces to bring to our lives that determine and deter us, deter us from where we need to be. I want a job, you get a job. When the job starts pressuring you to be the greatest and the highest being that you know that you are in your wholeness and your completeness and your brilliance, then we start complaining. And when we ask for the relationship and the relationship challenges us to begin to look more deeply at the behaviors, more deeply at the lack of empathy and compassion and consistency, then we upset. It's them, not me. No, it's you. It's you. The habits you start in your individual life are what's going to ripple into your business, ripple into your relationships. So we gotta work on that. That's why I say get back to the wholeness of you. What does that look like, Marion? Well, it looks like going deeper into your silence of you. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got its own. Your own what? Your own identity. Your own contribution, your own willingness, your own truth, your own love. If you don't like the way someone is loving you, first do an assessment of how you are sharing love and what you are requiring to love to look like. How do you nobody respects me. They don't respect me. What is respect? The basic understanding of respect is that you recognize that this person, this entity has a reason to be here. So therefore you don't disturb it from doing and being what it is supposed to be. Then you start honoring it in that position. Then you start valuing it. But most of us, respect me because I'm doctor. Respect me because I'm a man. Respect me because I'm a woman. Respect me because I'm a mother. Respect me, respect me, respect me. And no one understands. Are you respecting yourself? Oh, this is making me talk today. Join the academy, y'all. Oh, I'm so lovely what's happening with the academy. Oh, y'all don't even know. I'm always the giver. You're always the giver. Okay, that might be part of your process to be the giver, to be the organizer, to be the leader. But leaders delegate. Leaders share information and model things in a way that allows those they are in leadership over to grow and expand. There's a responsibility that comes with that identity. But you cannot expect people to give you what you are uncertain that you even are worthy from receiving. Raise the bar, the beliefs, the attitudes, so your results. Builds better beliefs. Adjust the attitudes and the things that you have access to, or having people have access to you. People say to me, I said, no, I'm accessible to all, available to few. For a reason. You can't keep doing everything. I spoke to someone who said they're empathic and their life is so overwhelming because they just don't know what to do, because as an empathic, they're always being used and abused and always being destroyed, and they just can't disconnect. And I said, that's a lie. That's a spiritual expression of divinity. Y'all call it discernment, whatever you want to call it, but that's a gift. Why would you get a gift that would trap you into harm? No, what it means is that you have that expression, you have that ability, but you have to understand that sometimes it's just for you to identify it, share it, or observe it, and know that it's not yours. Sometimes we are so busy interrupting other people on their journey of unfoldment that we get upset because our life seems stagnant, or people are always disrupting my journey. Everyone's no. What it is that you have, as I said earlier, are you on the right track, or are they on the right track? Whose tracks? When there is, nature tells you everything. Go to nature. Examine what it is we should be doing. What are the choices we're making? If you're making a choice to appease people, then 90% of the time when you do that, if you do it enough times, you'll be miserable and they'll be happy. What I'm about to say is going to bother. I don't believe in sacrificing for nobody. For what? Sacrifice? How about I compromise? How about I be considerate? How about I make room or adjustment? How about I support, help? But sacrifice? So that means I'm going to stop doing my assignment so that you can do your assignment and feel good. But then I'm going to feel miserable because now I'm not doing my assignment. And the world is waiting on me. We should be doing our assignment simultaneously. Even if it looks like this, it looks like this, or it looks like this. No matter what. Nature tells you everything you need to know. I was thinking about the animals and the pack leader. They aren't running around playing each other roles. They're not exhausting themselves. They stay right. Right. You know, people talk about the lion, you know, every time I go back home, you know, for like 2 years, I went and I stayed where there were nature reserves, and literally the animals were there, except for they have fences so that the lions, but the elephants came out. That's true. The elephants did come out. We could see them at the watering hole, but the lions and stuff had their own little separate thing. But you got to go on the Jeep and you could see them. And some of y'all saw I was really, really close to those lines. And I got a little nervous at one point, but then I got used to it, right? Because as long as you don't bother them, they're not going to bother you. They're just big cats. And I realized the more which I already knew from science, it's the lioness, the female lion that goes out and hunts. She goes out and hunts, but the reinforcement is the male lion with his roar, with his stature. That's it. The cubs are doing their things. I mean, these are the things and the messages that we got to understand. Everyone has an assignment. Everyone has a purpose and a willingness to engage in life at a level that is fulfilling. But when you start trying to control the next person, you want to figure out why they doing that. Now you want to do, now you're not doing what's in your wholeness, what is required for you. The water is contained in soil, yet we're able to take it from the ground. When we dig a well, we take it from the ground. When we go swimming, we're swimming around in it. But it's not until people start playing with the makeup of it, the consistency of it, adding chemicals, taking away things, that we can't do it. We've become so isolated. We've become so isolated that we can't even interact with nature and bring up our natural immunity to illnesses. There's an aversion for fresh food, vegetables. Why? There's an aversion to quiet time. The message was clear. More introspection than outerspection or dependence. How do we take on the power of our uniqueness if we're constantly comparing and veering off our paths to try to catch up, look like everybody else? Conformity is a requirement in some ways to exist in a society, but you still must be able to specialize. That's why now they say you got to go to 12 years, buy your bachelor's, your med school 4 years, and then you got to go into residencies before you become a physician. Before you become a teacher, you got to go to your 4-year degree. You got to go do a 1.5 years in residencies and training before you become a teacher. Why? Specialization works. And we are all specialized by the divine creator of all that ever was, is, and shall be, to specialize and make a contribution into this world. Whether anyone else wants to tell you that, I'm telling you that today. Do more introspection. Get used to your own voice for your life, for your vision, for your purpose, for your truth, for your expansion, for your unfoldment, for your fulfillment. Just I'm going to cut people off. You don't have to cut people off if you are aware that you're like a moth to a flame. A flame doesn't say I'm going to stop being a flame because I'm killing too many moths and mosquitoes. They don't say that. A rose doesn't say, oh, people tend to want me more of as a flower than other flowers. I'm going to stop being a rose because that's really hurting people's feelings. The violets feel some type of way. The lilies are crying. No. Everyone has a purpose and a reason to be here. Go inside. Well, how do you go inside? 1, turn everything off and step away from everyone for a moment. If it's just 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes it's going to be 1 minute, but do it. Do it. And just simply sit there. You may have all kind of thoughts coming. Did I turn off the coffee pot? Do I got an appointment? Oh my gosh, remember this, remember that. All that may happen. And it's not about, when they say quiet your mind never really gets quiet because it's an active state of existence. It can't get quiet. It can't stop functioning. Then you would die. But what we mean when we say quiet your mind is you want to take some time just to hear all of that. And say, I want to keep that. I don't want to keep that. Where did that come from? That's the quieting of the mind. That's the introspective component. And then you don't judge it. Number 2, you don't judge it. You're not judging yourself. You're not judging the thought. You're not trying to make it your total identity and label. You're not trying to become the poster child. You're only acknowledging it so that later you can go back and go deeper. And then third thing is to do it consistently. That's it. That's introspection. Some people want to write it, amend, 2.8, write it down. Fine, write it down. Record it, fine. But if you do those 3 things, you will find yourself hearing the answers before even the question is answered. To be able to take a thought, process it, and then use it in your creative way, which is naturally part of who we are. We're naturally co-creators of our reality. We are naturally co-creators of our real manifestation. What's the point of asking for something and that you believe is not going to come? What's the point? I talked about or put on my page that sometimes when we get these cravings, we get these ideas, it's our ancestors talking to us, but additionally, it's your body telling you that it needs something. It's something that needs to be called forth. Something that needs, it's kind of like, you get the food, it's just right, but you taste like something ain't right. You take a little sprinkle of salt, and it's like, there it is, pop. Today I made, remember I said I had the vision for the month of September. It said we should eat more greens and more purples. And today I made a salad, and as I was making a salad, it said, get some purple onion, or what y'all call them, red onions. Get some red onions. And it said, get some clemate olives and add on there, and then put some more spinach and romaine lettuce. And then I said, what kind of salad could I make? What kind of dressing could I make? He said, make a Greek dressing. I said, I ain't got no Greek. He said, make the Greek dressing. One of the key herbs in Greek dressings is oregano, which is a natural cleanser for your bloodstream. Vitality. So use olive oil. So like all of these things, as I said before, when you hear the voice, you will know that it's for you. And then you activate it. You get active and you get busy with it. And since I made that salad, so many good things have occurred. I feel good. I'm here with you all. I got a good phone call before this. All within that little 2-hour period. But you got to be consistent. It can't be a one-off, and it just can't be because somebody's coming. And it just doesn't work for me. It works for you. Maybe you're not supposed to be a size 6 for the rest of your life. Maybe you're not supposed to be in that career to the day you die. You may need financial assurances, a source to feed into that. but not if it means the sacrifice and degradation of you. No one ever wants a divorce. And I always say, close the door on divorce. But there comes a time when you can only wait for so long and you can only tolerate for so long before it starts chipping away at who you are. Maybe the connection is no longer aligned, or it was never aligned. Like I said earlier, right? You may be on different on the wrong path at the wrong time. Your timelines intersected too quickly or too late. We don't judge. We just heal, expand, unfold, and apply. Oh, how y'all feeling today? Thank y'all for joining me today for Spiritually Speaking. I am Sister Mary and Sista Efua, and this is our tea time, right? The first part, the first session where we come in. I'm inviting all of you to come and consider being a part on October 17th through the 19th here in Arizona for 3 days and 2 nights to come and join me for the Ancestors Calling session that I'm going to be doing here in Arizona. It is, I already know it's going to be great, right? Because it's a chance for you to really understand what that means. Everybody has ancestors. It's not just one group of people who have ancestors. Everyone has ancestors. Everyone has ancestors, those that came before you, right? And I often talk to Christians. Oh, no, we can't do ancestors. That's witchcraft. Really? Well, how come in the Bible it says this person begot this person and the son of this person and the daughter of this person and this line and this line? Why is that? Because ancestry is important. It connects you to that which you have. That's going to help you complete your original assignment. So knowing who your ancestors are and honoring them, remembering them. As I told y'all yesterday, or maybe last week, I just realized, last year my father turned 100. Yep. Posthumous. And then his birthday is coming up again. He's going to be 101. And when I said 101, Spirit was like, oh yeah, you're going to do something about that because that number is important. I can honor my father. I can tell the stories. I can cook meals that remind me of him. I can light his pipe that I still have, that I sometimes smell, even when it's not lit, or hear his voice, right? Ancestors are key and essential. They're part of your root system. Oh, well, my grandparents, I don't know who my parents were, or these people were horrible, but not everything about them was horrible. We don't judge. We identify. And if something is there that we do not wish to recreate, people talk about generational curses. There is no generational curse. It's a choice you've made not to address the issue that is causing the curse. If your family is full of drunkards, then figure out why that genetic predisposition to alcoholism exists, or that mindset exists. And then you get the choice to say no more going forward will we have alcoholics in our family. Liars, molesters, abusers, divorces. You have to take the authority. That was also part of our September. It said it breaks down to the 1 for this month. Leadership, authority. Taking back the leadership roles that you need to take up first on your own life and then those around you. This is all relative to the advancement. You can look pretty, you can sound pretty, but if there's nothing there, I always tell the story about when I used to teach and this student they knew that I liked dark chocolate and they brought this apple to me that was dark chocolate. And one day we were having a training day and I wanted something to munch on. So I went back to my office to grab this dark chocolate apple. I just took it and put it on the shelf. I never opened it. I just said thank you and put it away. I got all kinds of things all the time, some parents and students. And I went in my office and I opened it up and I started going. I said, oh, this is awfully light. right? I opened it up. I took a bite and it was just a shell. There was nothing inside, just a thin shell of dark chocolate shaped like an apple that said, "You are the apple of my eye. Thanks, Teach." It was hollow. That's why I say it was wrapped in gold paper, had a nice little pretty red box, had a little stem thing, right? But it was hollow. So what the fulfillment that I thought I was going to get out of it, although it curbed my hunger, it was like, wow, okay, I got to eat the whole thing instead of just a bite or a chunk. What does this have to do with being more introspective? What does it have to do with being and accepting that you are whole and complete? It has everything, because perceptions form realities. Excuse me, perceptions forms belief, and beliefs form your reality. Function from a place of being whole and complete. Allow yourself to have introspection. Allow yourself to move forward with your ideas. Join me October 17th, 18th, and 19th for the ancestral calling. Let's not walk around as that beautiful shaped apple was and be hollow and disconnect ourselves from our. How do you not want to recognize your roots? How? I know that was a little much for y'all. Some of y'all, it's a little much. But ancestors are you. And now you, in this present moment, by recognizing that they did something long enough in order for you to be born. I was watching, I like to watch that show with Henry Louis Gates. Thank y'all for being patient. Henry Louis Gates has a show, and I forget what it's called. Now I can see the symbol, but now he's teamed up with Ancestry. So he's doing more and more and more. So he's working with Michael Douglas, the actor. And he never knew something about, he wasn't know more about his father's father. And he knew that his father ran to America to escape the army. Well, when they started doing the research, they found out his father, his grandfather actually, and his brothers were actually criminals. And he said, wow, okay. But that's you, the average person go, oh man, my family was thieves. They snuck into America on the bottom of a boat. Or they used an alias when they came to America because they was wanted by the police in Russia. But I like what Michael Douglas said. He says, regardless of what they did, once they got here, he was a hardworking man. He was teaching us how to avoid crime, how to be respectful, how not to judge people. That's what he said. But he also started understanding why he and his uncles were also always trying to find little side hustles to make money. To be a thief or a criminal, you have to have a certain set of skills. He just converted them into doing the way they're supposed to, in a better way. The conditions were different. The circumstances were different. The skill set, the mindset shifted, but the skill sets were used in a different way in this country. That's what I mean when I say, if you know your ancestors, not just a degradation. I'm a Black African person. I understand that enslavement and colonization was a part of that. That's not my identity. That was an experience. But out of that experience, I can say that we survived long enough for me to be born. So I'm taking all the dividends. I'm collecting now. You are too, for your family, for your ancestors. You are collecting. You are repairing. That's why people say, oh, why you keep bringing up the past? Because the past is why I have the fortitude and the determination and the resistance that I have now. Nobody ever got married in your family? You need to figure out what's going on with that. So heal that so you get married, not just to anybody, but you begin to prepare yourself and understand that being married is a good thing. Nobody ever went to college, nobody went to high school, graduated high school. You do what you got to do to break that curse with your children. So that's what I want to say about introspection today and your belief system and adjusting of the attitudes to get the results that you desire. That's why I say when you come to us and we're speaking into your life, take it, analyze it through introspection, and then apply it to your life. But that comes with daily, consistent practice, not reactions, because that's what they teach us, to react. Don't think, just react, just do. But you should be more strategic in that process. All right? Are we great or are we good? Are y'all still with me? I know. But a spiritual cup of tea, a metaphysical cup of tea, a wisdom cup of tea should have you thinking. Not judging, but noticing what you are noticing about you, your life, your choices. It takes a lot, but it's not about everything happening at one time as much as it is about us moving forward into the truths and the honors of who we be. All right. Remember what I said, join me on October 17th, 18th, and 19th. Join me back again here on every Monday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday nights for the Thursday Thoughts, we'll be here chatting it up more. We'll be spending more time together. If you have not joined the Academy, the Life Activated Academy, go over to linktr.ee/spiritualsoulspa and take an opportunity to explore. If you're not sure, click on the button that says chat with me, and then you click that button and we'll have a conversation to see if the academy is work for you, or maybe you need something, maybe you need the coaching programs. But whatever it is, we need to start now. Start now. Get in there now before we start going through the questions, before we start. Get prepared that when you get the questions, if you hear something, what is it that I want to hear? What is it that I want to shift in my life? What is it that I want to elevate? What is it I want to bring to the surface more? What is it I want to reconstruct, rebuild? That was also part of the September message. A rebuilding, a restructuring. If you get in the harvest and you have no place to store it or receive it, yeah, everything is connected. I'm trying to tell y'all, everything is connected. All right. So let's get ready to move into the second part of our program. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. If you want to continue to join me, you can always pick up this. If you missed the first part, you can always go over to my YouTube at the Spiritual Soul Spa and watch the entirety. You can follow me on TikTok as a Chat Diva or as the Spiritual Soul Spa, and we will have a great time together, because that's what we need right now. I'm going to be doing more in-person events, because I think that I was told that there's too much being done online. There's too much being done online. We need to bring people back together so we can feel each other, so we can experience each other, and we can get back into that touch, to get back into the humanity that we need to come back into. That's why a lot of people are just so quick and easy to kind of go with their own thoughts. Whatever is coming across the airwaves, they're just taking it in. They're just taking it in. Tamisha, I'm good. I ain't forgot. All right. Are we great or are we great? All right. All right, let's keep going. All right, go ahead and post your questions. If you have a question for me, how many times you're going to post it? Just one time. One time. You're going to post it one time and one time only, and you're going to be able to get the information that you need. I'm over September already. October. Nope. In October, listen, if don't say you over September because it'll end up giving you back some similar energy. And that's the other thing too, right? Right. So this is the thing I want to say to y'all. Okay. Hear me when I talk. I am animate about sharing with people how to best experience the fullness of their wholeness. And that is, you have no reason to be rushing past an experience that is going to grow you, that is going to prepare you, right? If you're about to do a marathon, isn't it better if you've been walking instead of just going from the couch and they expect you to do the marathon? So when we have these monthly or these incremental or these daily or moment by moment exchanges with the spirit realm, with our mental mindset, with our emotions, with our health, it is a lesson. It is a yellow cautionary light that says, hey, I need you to get this skill, get this knowledge, clear this space so that I can give you what you really want, what you really need in your life. Because some shit has been in our life because it was just placed there because we were in the space. You know, I remember back in the day when I was in high school, I think they used to take us down the school line. They just plop, 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 lay it on there. Everybody got the same thing. It wasn't, oh, I don't want that. You getting it. And that's how our lives have been. Be patient. Be patient. Allow it to work with you. Allow it to work with you. Allow yourself to honor these moments that don't feel so good. I think I shared a couple of times, you've heard me say that when I was growing up, I was taught there is no such thing as a bad thing. It's only an inconvenience in your human consciousness. But when you exist beyond the consciousness, you understand that everything is relative and necessary for you to be who you are. If you were born and then your family started making you conform to whatever their fears, experiences, lacks, and doubts were, that's why teenagers rebel. They're trying to figure themselves out. They remember a little bit. Yes. Absolutely, positively, so it is. All right, so right away, I saw your mother with her legs crossed, and she just like, this girl. She did like this. She said, this girl. What is it? That's what she said. What is it? So that's a sign to tell me that what she's trying to tell you is that you're seeking too many answers and you're trying to be something that you need to just sit back and chill. Sit back and chill. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. Yeah, you really are having to question some things because you were expecting there to be some supports in some areas, but she's definitely around you. There's an Eastern window that your mother tends to sit by, but we'll talk. It is, but as I said, we got to get together with more, more relatively. Yeah. More physically, I should say. I'm continuing to check myself to slow down. Now, yes, I'm telling you, that's the kind of thing you have to do, right? You want to rush. I know I'm about to get this. So I'm gonna try to hurry up, hurry. I'm about to get out of here. So now I gotta no, you have integrity. You have it the whole time that you're waiting. I got a new job, so I'm not gonna go to work. No, don't do that. Let's wait until next month come. Let's wait until next month come. I'm not going to rush you. I want you to deal in this present time. What do I need to do? What have I done well? What have I honored? You also still got to speak some things out of your mouth. My tongue and stuff is very heavy right now. It's telling me that that's what you need to do. Relax for you. It's saying relax, chill. It seems like you have some type of, I don't know if it's the library you're frequenting. That space is really good for you to clear yourself out. Yeah. It's fresh energy. The heaviness is the fresh energy, right? We say it's heavy. We say it's heavy because it's forcing us to take time for us. We can do everything for everyone else, but now we have to address ourselves. We have to address ourselves. We have to make decisions that are difficult, that cause us to make a decision. That means we may not be popular. Yeah, we may not be popular once we make this decision. We may not have the same people once we make this decision. So let's settle in this energy. Let's show this energy that it's not more powerful than us, but that we accept that it's a necessary. It's like you got a headache, you got to take a pain pill. If all the other homeopathic remedies are not working, you may have to take a pain pill. You may have to go to the ER. Yes, it's a lot, but you can do it. We're doing it. That's the kicker. We're doing it. We're right in the middle of doing it. We got how many days left? Right? Wow, my roommate just discovered the lounge on the floor. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, right? They're telling you that space is going to become something very instrumental in your development, in your maintaining. Yeah. The most difficult thing is wow, I just looked over and the word that's on my wall, it says healing. So from within, it says from within, help and healing from within. I just glanced over. Yeah. It's a transformational month because things have to transform. That means go across the forms. Alchemy, the 7 stages, 3 phases, 7 stages. And it results in something new, viable. It's got to be stripped down to the core of the essence, because imagine that you have continuously been having layers placed upon us. There have been layers placed upon us from the time we were born, labels, identities, restrictions, forms of neglect, over attention, experiences, and we absorb them all. And now it's time to go back and say, okay, we've had this since age 5. We no longer need that. We've done this thing this way, and we can no longer do it. Oh, we need more of that. Let's double up and look for more of that. Like, let's dig through here and find some more. I'm sure we got a mate for this, right? And there's going to be more transformational moments. Even a dream I had last night when I woke up, I said, ooh, but I got to accept it. It gave me a heads up. So when it started coming in, I got to be like, okay, I'm ready. You ready? Let's do. Okay. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you on today. It was a great day. Thank you again. I'll be back here on, when is it? I'll be back here on Monday, right? Saturday set down, Thursday thought, and then Saturday set down. So I'll be back here on Thursday for Saturday set down, Thursday thought, and then Saturday set down. And then we'll be going. Again, if you want to join the academy, it's $200 a year, $25 a month. You can also do a la carte and pay $25 for every session that I host once a month. If you want to come to special sessions, they're $35. So it really benefits you to do the academy. It really does benefit you to do the academy. Absolutely, positively. In order for there to be transformation, something, yeah. And that's it. Like the first phase of the alchemic process is that they burn it up to get it, to burn away everything. You're burning away those layers and the ashes are going where, and then they sift through the ashes and they take or they extract. Absolutely, positively. Anything I can do to support me getting better sleep. I think that what we talked about a little bit is going to help. When you lay down, remind yourself, there's nothing that I'm missing. There's nothing happening. I just only am excited about tomorrow. Okay. Remember, we don't have to control anything. Yeah, Melanie, that was your question, right? What can you do to get sleep, right? I just said a lot of what we talked about. But most importantly, before you lay down, set the intention, speak to yourself out loud. Allow yourself to shut everything out and off. Or if you need on a light, fine, keep a light on. If you need soft music, fine, play the soft music. But begin to speak from the inside out. It's time for us to rest. We've done so much today. I'm really proud of you. I thank you for honoring this day with me. Now it's time for you to communicate to me through my visions, dreams, right? That's it. All right, y'all, have a great day. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you all on Thursday for the Thursday Night Thought at 8 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. And then on Saturday morning for the Saturday set down at 11 a.m. Thanks again for being here. Remember, when things begin to cloud your way, make you feel like you just can't go on, just scream out nice and loud. That's not my reality. And remember that it's only a bad dream until you begin to make it true.